Hi guys, Susanna here. I am currently making a journal with a book, Emma, a Jane Austen. It was just so pretty I didn't want to wreck it, so I'm doing an altered book. And it needs tags for on the top. Where are we? I'll give you a page, or in here I need a few tags. So I thought I'd do a tutorial. I've made a couple, but I need at least 6 or more. So I thought I would share these beautiful tags with you and show you how I made them. Hopefully you can make them along with me. Okie dokie. Now, put these aside. There's a bit of, this is, because I'm usually do a lot of art. I've been doing art all my life, so that this is not a normal journaling video, I suppose. Okay, now, so we're going to be doing a little bit of mixed media. It might be first for some of you, but that's the whole idea of a tutorial, to learn how to do things that you don't know how to do. Okay, just had to organise myself a little bit. We're going to be using stencils, so I've got these lovely Tim Holtz stencils and this other stencil here. Some stuff I've done beforehand, so I'll just put these away and begin. Okay, let's sit down. Okie dokie. Now, what we're going to be doing is using this called masking fluid, and anybody that's a watercolour person or whatever, this is a bit of a technique that you use to sort of block out, which gives this really, I love it. It looks sort of a bit like vintage wallpaper, which is what I want. So you get a little bit of this. It can be quite thick if you need to. You just put a bit of water on it, and it ruins your brushes and any other stuff. So you've got to get your oldest. I've got my Tim Holt, put those away, Tim Holt, what are these called? These dabbers. So what we're going to do, I've pre-done it here, and you put it on there and it gives like a resist opposite to when you do stenciling, so you're actually blocking out some of the other stuff. So I'll give a little bit of this example on here. I might make one of these into a pocket, so put that on there like that. This stuff, it's quite liquidy at this stage. And you need to make sure that you clean your stencils, because this stuff it's pretty much rubber. That's what keeps off the paint. Of the thing, sorry. I get a bit quiet when I'm concentrating, so you'll have to excuse that. Now, one thing you definitely have to do is let this dry 100% before I'll give it a clean. Ideally you'd go to the sink, but I haven't got one here in my studio. But wet wipe will do the trick. So the reason why I did this beforehand is because it is very messy, and it needs time to dry. So what you do with this, I'll just set this aside, so you just let that dry, and then it turns out a bit like this. It sort of goes, I did this last night, so it's a bit yellowy, but it can take up to, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes, something like that. Better mop this up or put too much on. So that's just a bit of an example of what I did on these tags. And these tags I've got on Kaiser Craft cardstock, because it's got a bit of a ridge, so just white cardstock, which you cut up into a size which you like. Now, clean this all up. Ugh, sticky stuff and very messy. Okay. Put the lid on. Now, what you do now, I am going to do a couple. So I've got, I think this one is this stencil, and this one is this stencil, but I've also got one I've done before, which is that one. And I'll be doing a couple of methods, some with this style and then others with just the direct stencil on there. My phone just went beep. Don't know what for. Oh, something. Okay. Now, what we'll do is I'll get my trusty Jane Davenport watercolors. Or I know a lot of people have distress inks because I use distress oxide or distressed inks for doing the edges and all that kind of stuff when they do journaling and making tags and whatnot. So I've got a bit of quite a bit of different colours in the distress inks. So what have I got here? I'm going to be using, I'll show an example of using the watercolour first, and then I'll use the distress inks. Okay, looks so pretty. Now, okay, oh, wrong way around, give you a bit of an idea. They're so pretty, the Jane Davenport stuff. She's an Aussie artist in Australia that she does amazing artwork, very mixed media artist. So put that on there. Now this is the technique I used for this one, so I really love how that turned out. So I want to do another one with the same colours. The front of it will be a little bit different, and it doesn't really matter, you just use a fair bit of water. That's why I've got the craft mat, so anything that gets on there. Actually, where's my spray? Give it a bit of a spray. Actually, it's watery. Made a bit of a mess. Yuck. So, how is everyone doing? Hope they're going well and enjoying the weather where you are. At the moment in Australia, we are nearing the end of winter. Oh, thank goodness, it's jolly freezing. So, whereas a lot of people out there are probably nearing the end of summer. So you're coming into my favourite season, which is autumn. I love autumn. Hence why I made an autumn journal. Now, what you need to do, make sure you get it all. See how it's resisting? That's the effect that you want. Now we just add a little bit, probably a bit much. I like the green with it. The old saying, blue and green should never be seen. Not true. Okay, we can leave this to dry, and if it's not dry enough, I'll quickly get the blow dryer out and do that. Oh, I don't want that. Okay, just put that off to one side. So pretty. Love the colours. Okay, now a bit of a clean. One thing about art, it's a little messy. Very satisfying. Yes. So now this is for, I've got watercolors, so I'm using the watercolors, but not everyone out there in the journaling world would have watercolors, but most of you would have some sort of distress ink, which I don't know whether some of you know or not. I'm just going to use a bit of plastic. Can be used, like that's what I did with this one. I just used distress ink as paint. So what we'll do, where have I got my milled lavender, you tap that on there. Okay. Because it is actually quite, I probably should have washed my brush. It's got a little bit of a bluish tinge to it. The milled lavender is fairly light, but I'm going to darken it up with my dusty Concord. Dusty Concord. That sounds funny. Aeroplane. Okay. So light. Can't see it because it's got the dark thing behind the plastic. So there you go. More than one use to these beautiful distress inks. That's why I bought them. Got to be careful though, because they are ink and they can get everywhere. Now, okay, needs a bit of darkening in the colour. There we go. Brings it to life a bit. Love purple. So pretty. Okay. So I haven't been doing journaling or junk journaling for that long, probably, I don't know, maybe 6 months, maybe a bit more, but I've been scrapbooking and doing art and sort of making up altered book journals, which I didn't realise was actually part of junk journaling. So I've sort of been doing it most of my life, but not realising I was doing it. So, but I love it because it combines everything I really like. I've done every possible craft art thing there is, quilting and doll making and watercolour, drawing. So it combines everything that I really love about art, which is great. Now, this has got quite a bit of the resist on there, but that's okay because I'll show you what we do in the end. Now, I'm just going to dry this off. Okay, get rid of this. So there you go, you can use your distress inks. Now, while I've got my distress inks out, I'll get it out in a different colour. I'll show you a different technique that I've done, which I've used. Well, probably don't really need to show you. This is just using the distress inks with the stencils. Just using your distress inks over it. So most people know how to do that. So, but I like it, but I really like the effect of using the masking fluid a lot better. Sort of doesn't come across as vintagey when you do it this way. Okay, no worries. Well, I'll just pause it for a sec and we'll get back to the next step. Back again. Okay, I just blow dried these dry, and while I was off camera I just painted this pocket because this is going to be my sample in the purples from another Jane Davenport. I like using watercolour better than the distress ink. It's because it's nice and bright. They're really bright colours. So I've already rubbed off the masking fluid off. So this is, you have to wait until I blow dried it to hurry the process a bit for the sake of the tutorial. So you have to wait until the masking fluid's 100% dry, so about 10 minutes you've got to wait, and then, or you can blow dry it, but not too close, because it's, you know, you don't want to wreck it. And then you have to wait until the watercolour or the distress ink is dry. So what you do, so I've pre-done these, is you get your finger or a rubber if you don't like doing it, and then you rub, hold it down and you rub, and this rubs off any of the masking fluid, and it leaves behind the white, which gives it that effect. What masking fluid was originally intended for was when you're doing watercolour, your white, you don't paint white, you block out, and then sometimes you want to have a fair bit of white, so it's a lot easier to use your paint on the masking fluid on the bits that you want to leave white, and then you can paint over it and not worry about it. So, but like anything, mixed media arty people like to use different mediums for different things. So it's quite rubbery. It's basically just rubber. Quite satisfying getting rid of the that. Now, so I'll end up using this as a pocket, but I'll just show you on the small one. So what I do now, because like for this as example, it's quite light, and so I get the actual stencil again and put it over the top and get out the dusty Concord. And lovely, should be lined up. About there, I think. There we go. And then lightly do a bit of stenciling. You don't want to be doing it too full, because the whole point is wanting a little bit of the white being left. That's why we did use the masking fluid. There we go. It's a little bit firmer in the centres because they don't always show. Oh, so pretty. Here we go. Line this one up. Not quite long enough. Okay. There we go. I mean, when we do the next step of embellishing, you don't always get to see all of it anyway. But you know it's there, and you've had fun learning another technique. Look how gorgeous that looks. So pretty. And so I do the same. This one's turned out pretty good, so I don't know whether I need to do that much of it. Where is it? This way. But I'll do it regardless. It's always good to do it. Just a light. See, I think personally, when this one's been done with watercolour and that one's been done with distress inks, or depending what colour you use, they turn out a little bit lighter when you use them like watercolours. There we go. It turned out really well. We still got a little bit of the white. I love this design. It's like lace. Beautiful. So we do the same with this one. Except I use peacock feathers on this one. And this is a Kaiser craft stencil. Definitely needs it. Now, So put that out, line that up. There we go. A bit harder to get through this one, so I need to press a little firmer. Oh, see, don't always get it right. There we go. But it doesn't really matter. Because we're just going for an effect. It doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, a bit darker. There we go. In some of these really light spots. Yeah, that one there definitely needs it. It's a bit smaller. The stencil you can't see quite as well, but I love the effect. And this one here. There we go. Okay, now sometimes I go over the end again with my Distress inks in the brown, but just on the front part I'll go over with this, and this is something we're all familiar with. Oh, oh. Gotta be so careful, especially when it's such a dark colour. Okay, now this is probably going to be a two-parter. This is the art side, and then the next part will be putting on all the embellishments and everything like that. So I think that'll be just too long being a one video, I think. So I will turn it off for now, and in the second part is when we'll do all these embellishments and everything like that. So they'll be a little bit different. I've got the same sort of papers and everything, but they will be a little bit different. Okay guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.